Awesome. Good morning, everybody. This is Anastasia, and I am here with Heather.
Good morning.
Hi, Heather. I'm just bebopping over to my Facebook page to see. Yep, it's live. Okay, awesome. So it's Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. I was inspired to do a little 3-part series on the different types of healing modalities that I do and work with people. And instead of just talking about them, I wanted to have a live person on with me to actually do a session, and so people can get an idea of what I do. A real live person with a real topic or issue we're going to work with, and I'm going to check in with Heather to see what she's feeling throughout the session. We'll keep it to about 20 minutes. So Heather, let me ask you, what would you like to work on today? What is coming up for you that you are blocked or struggling with, or just something you want to clear?
So I have my own business, and I have some big plans that I'm going to roll out starting early next year. And I really need to get out there and publicize it and be on social media and all of that. And that's not my comfort zone. So I'd like to sort of let go of whatever it is that is just causing that discomfort so that I can be more visible and seen.
Yeah. Thank you. So that is, thank you for sharing that. And I am hearing that from a lot of people that are in the field that we're in, that they're, just feeling the term imposter syndrome, people use that a lot, or just, not wanting to be super visible. And yet that's what we need in order to share our gifts. It's not just about growing your business. It's really sharing who you are with the world, your gifts, and how you help people. And I've experienced your work, and it's absolutely incredible. So to have more of it in the world, if that is what your desire is a really wonderful thing.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way, and it feels very uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
To get out there and do all of that that's required to reach out to people and be so visible, so seen.
Yeah. And as part of it, just so the audience has an idea, I mean, there's technical things, there's like time that we spend on social media, but do you think it's more than that? Like, do you think there's an energetic piece behind it and not just the sort of action pieces that you need to take?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When you're really sensitive to energy, I think that's part of it. And having a lot of energetic eyeballs on you, there is more energy coming at you, which you feel as a sensitive person. And also, there's lifetimes of living in a way where you needed to keep certain things secret and hidden, and that's part of it too. And then whatever else, confidence and belief that, like you said, that your message has value, belief that you can do this, and so it's a process.
She sings it, like, instead of saying it, she sings it. I love it. So if anyone is watching live and has a question, feel free to drop that in the comments, or if you're here, just say hi. I'd love to see if anybody's here watching us, or if you're watching the replay, you can do the hashtag replay. So I'm going to attempt to do 2 of the charts. So for those that have never, ever, ever had a SuperConnection session or worked with me, and I don't have another camera to pan down, I'm sorry, but I have a workbook with all these charts. This is my little travel size. So a bunch of charts. I use a pendulum to dowse to see where we start. My pendulum gives me yeses and nos, or leads me to questions and then leads me to answers. So I'm going to go to 2 charts today with Heather in our little session here. And the goal is, at the end, is I want to release the fear-based words and emotions, and we're going to replace with love-based words and emotions. And anyone working with me, what I suggest is that if you're a note taker, you could certainly take notes. This is Heather's session, so she's probably going to sit back because this will be recorded and she can watch it again if she wants to. People can take notes and then just sort of be present in your body and see what you're feeling. A lot of people will feel a physical shift or something in the body either open, or sometimes it contracts and then opens. Some people have a memory, like I call it an awareness or a mental awareness, or just a memory of something that happened in the past. Other people do get emotional because there's something that was stored that maybe they didn't even know was stored, and that's coming up to be released. And some people, and it's a very small percentage, don't feel anything, but this is still working energetically, vibrationally, to clear old patterns, blocks, just things that sometimes trauma that we blocked out because it was too intense for us. So just to let the viewers know that the releases can happen in different ways for people. And sometimes, and it is such a small percentage that people don't feel anything, but it is still working. And sometimes people don't feel anything in the moment, but they'll feel something like 2 hours later, or maybe 24 hours later. And Heather, after the session, I would recommend having some water if you need to ground, and then watching, any information that may come through in your dream time.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, because that definitely happens. Okay, so the first chart that we're going to do, so again, we're going to work on the business and feeling a little nervous about being seen, wanting to step out there more, wanting to reach more people. So just sort of whatever that block is, like Heather said, it could be a past life thing. So I am going to start with a chart that focuses on trauma that happened during our birth scenario. So when Heather was born, not when she birthed her children, but when she was born. And I also dowse, and this is interesting, is even though you're carrying some of the things that we're going to mention in this lifetime, certainly this came through from another lifetime. So you were right about that. Yeah, this information. Yeah. Okay, so the thing with this chart, Heather, which is really neat, is I'm going to share with you a false and limiting belief on one side. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to give you the positive, so the affirmation. So the false limiting belief is something you took on at birth or shortly thereafter. It could have been even something your mom or dad or the people like in your home before you were birthed was like a big theme, and you as the baby picked it up. So we're going to just speak out the false limiting belief and then give you the supporting one to replace that with.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the first one is a part of me feels alienated from others. Does that have any resonance for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the transformative supporting belief is I am one with the universe and I am part of everything.
Love it.
So what I would add too is, because it says a part of me feels alienated, is not only that I am one with the universe, but I feel safe. I feel safe, and I am part of everything. How does that feel?
Perfect. I love it. Yeah.
A part of me feels frightened about the future, or anxious, or uncertain. How does that one resonate?
Not always, but at times for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the transformative belief is I am excited. I feel excited about my future. I look forward to all the beautiful possibilities.
Love it.
coming towards me. Okay, so this one that I'm going to read, this, you may not feel that this one's connected to the business, but remember, it's something that happened during the birth scenario, but it is impacting the business. So this one is, a part of me feels either powerless or inadequate.
Okay.
And that positive statement is, I am powerful, strong, and capable. I am powerful, strong, and capable.
I love it.
Did you resonate with the limiting belief? I feel a part of you feels powerless and inadequate. And you can say, of course, at times. It doesn't have to be like all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
When I drop down into my worry mode, all of that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. This next one says, a part of me feels that I have been abandoned. So again, going back to the birth scenario, but how it may be playing out for you now. So you're nodding like that makes
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel that one.
Okay. So what we're going to replace that with is, I am and I feel cherished and cared for. I am cherished. I feel cherished. I feel cared for. I am cared for. I have a wonderful support system around me.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I encourage people, when I do these types of charts, I don't always work with this in this modality. Sometimes I'm just getting information, but we landed on these charts where we're getting the false belief and then the positive, right? So I say to people, just put in what makes sense for you, like what resonates for you.
Okay. Okay. And should I be
And
writing these down and like using these regularly, or part of the process is that this is now integrating?
so it's how you, it can be both or neither. So during a session, the work is being cleared as we're doing it, like in the moment. And I'm dowsing to see if you're accepting the positive statements. And I'm getting yeses. So the work is being done. But I have worked with a lot of people where they're writing down the positive phrase because they're going to use it in meditation or as their mantra, or they might just write it down and sort of really bring it more in. Right. So if there's still, if you like, I'm getting a yes that you're accepting this, but if there's like a slight bit of doubt in your brain, then you might want to work the phrase, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to reinforce,
Yeah.
That's a great question. Yeah. So I'm just looking at a couple more statements here. This next one says, a part of me feels that my needs are either not met or ignored. A part of me feels my needs are not met or ignored.
Yeah, it's like when you when you're paying attention to your vibration and to your mental state, all of this is like a distant memory. But then there's certainly times when I drop down and and it's right there. So yeah, I could yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love the way you said that, because sometimes the script is running in the background. It's like a computer
Exactly.
program running in the background, but it's outdated, but we
Yeah.
don't have the newer version up. So it's
Mhm.
just slightly in the background. The other thing with something like this chart is, because it was in your birth scenario, right? That might have been what you felt in your mom's womb, or
Mhm.
when you came out, that your needs weren't, something might have been going on in the family where you didn't get the attention that you needed, possibly
Mhm.
when you were that little. And
Right.
because you're nonverbal up until whatever age, you're holding that. My needs aren't being met. I'm feeling ignored, right? So it could just be a little thread that's still remaining that we want to clear up. So sometimes people will say to me, I'm not really resonating with that. Like that one doesn't make sense. And I just remind them that it could be an unconscious belief or a subconscious belief that came in. And that you've done work on, but there might be just be a little thread. Just like you said, like when you drop down, you feel it.
Yeah, exactly. And I also feel like, and I don't mean to interrupt your flow here, but I find with my clients, and it's feeling very true for me, that the stuff that shows up is the stuff that like they're ready to move. You know, there's always stuff. It's not like the goal is to have a completely empty plate, because that's not what life is about, but that for whatever reason, this is what they don't need it hold anymore. Their body's ready to let go of or whatever. And that feels very true with all of these things for me. Like, oh yeah, I'm ready to let that one sail away. That one feels like it's ready to move on. So cool. I'm loving it.
Nice. So that I don't know if I gave you the replacement, but that one is my needs are always met by everyone I meet. My needs are always met by everyone I meet or encounter or interact with. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And I honestly would say, and when you don't feel that they are, the universe has your back. The universe always has our back. God always has our back. So, you know, sometimes a human's not going to be able to meet it right in that moment, right? So just know that your guides, your angels, that they're there.
That's beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. So, excuse me. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. So I'm going to go to the fear-based, clearing the fear-based and replacing with love, because that's the crux of this work. Not just getting the information we got is like awesome. And I hope, you know, shed some light. So, excuse me. So I'm going to clear the fear-based energies.
Okay.
So we're releasing uncertainty, impatience, pity, weakness, fear, insecurity, and blaming yourself.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I like to have people just take a nice deep breath.
Okay.
And release. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. And we're going to replace all of that with creativity, optimism, understanding, inspiration, awareness, freedom, and safety.
Nice.
And then the last thing I do, Heather, is I just check in to see how much of it cleared and how much of it you accepted. And I'm getting 100%.
Nice.
On that. So, yeah. So tell me, and honest feedback. I would love some honest feedback. How did you, you know, it was a very short little mini session. How did it feel? Did it make sense? I know I was checking in with you throughout, but just like now that we're at the end, just want to do a check-in and see how that felt for you.
Well, I would say that in the beginning, when we first started talking, like I felt very sort of off center. Like even looking now, I'm a little off center in the camera, but in the beginning, it was really bothering me. And I was like kind of fighting, and all of my attention was here, that there was like, so now, even though I'm still not completely centered on the camera, I feel very centered. And I don't feel like worried about where I am in space or anything. So that's an interesting change. And in the middle, I could feel sort of going into a different brainwave. Like if I hadn't been talking and you had just been doing your thing, I could feel that, you know, my mind state was shifting. So that's a sign that something's happening, right?
Was it like more relaxed when you say different brain state, like more relaxed, feeling calm, or maybe more grounded, something like that?
Yeah, that kind of cottony, wispy, like just out there. you know,
Oh,
when your brain lets go so your body can heal. Yeah.
okay. Yep. Got it. So like letting go of the chatter, the monkey mind chatter,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
yeah, and just, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, thank you so much for joining me and for you're actually volunteering. So, thank you for this. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow with Heather. We're gonna do tapping with frequency numbers. So we might continue this theme. There might be
Mhm.
something else that we work on. Yeah, we're good. So another like 15 to 20 minutes tapping with frequency numbers. And then on Thursday, I'm gonna douse and share with her some flower essences that would support her on her journey. So it's like a little, healing series this week with Heather. And I do want to let people know, and I will drop it in the comments, some different ways, if this is, of any interest to people, the SuperConnection, that I have different ways that people can work with me. They can do just a 1 hour session with me. I have a package of 3 and a package of 6 that people can do with me. I have a little tune-up package, which I'll talk about in another live, but you will do 3 half-hour sessions spread out. So that's like a little tune-up. So if they don't want to do a whole hour, but they wanted to have 3 sessions, and there's different themes. Um, and that one is just nice, 3 half-hour sessions. And then I have something separate that is a half-hour clearing limiting money beliefs for people that they can do. So different ways that they can experience this work if they're curious. Um, so I think that's all I wanted to say. Did you have anything just in closing, anything that you wanted to say as we close?
I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for, allowing me to volunteer for this. And I'm so excited. I love what you do. I think I haven't met other people who do have this combination of tools that you use. And so I'm happy to support you in your business. Very happy to receive. And I think it's amazing.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I'm so psyched about tomorrow. I was so psyched about today. Now I'm psyched. Now I'm getting psyched about tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
I'm gonna say goodbye to everyone. Heather, if you want to hold on and just
Okay.
chat, but I'm gonna say
Sure.
goodbye to everyone and see you guys tomorrow. And if there's any questions that come up, if people are curious, leave them in the comments. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.